murder charging and his other shooting death. Police say the incident also left his father wounded. CBS 2's John Diaz joins us live from outside the police station in New Dorp, where the young man is being held. John?
Sydney police telling us that 18-year-old will be walked out of the 122nd Police Precinct sometime later on today and transported over to Central Booking. Now, it is still unclear as to why exactly this Staten Island man committed such heinous crimes. Allegedly, however, though, the NYPD telling us that it all stemmed from a domestic dispute. Now, according to authorities, yesterday around 6:30 at night, 18-year-old Adnan Pelankovic got into a fight with his parents at their home over on Burbank Avenue in the New Dorp section of Staten Island. As you can see here in this video, it is now a police crime scene. Now, when police arrived, they say that they found his mother, Minari Pelankovic, suffering from a severe chest injury after she was shot. Now, EMS transported her to the hospital, where she was later pronounced dead. Police say that the teen's 54-year-old father was also hurt. He had a cut on his chest, but refused medical attention, and we are told he will be okay. As for Adnan, he was taken into custody right there at the scene, and a gun was recovered. Now, we are told that he does face a long list of charges, including murder, attempted murder, and assault. We're live this morning from New Dorp, Staten Island.
Philadelphia woman. It happened last week in Center City, and the victim is speaking only with Eyewitness News. Matt Petrillo is at 21st and Walnut, where that attack happened. Good evening, Matt.
Hey, Jess, you know, that video is hard to watch. The victim tells me she has no idea who the man is who attacked her. Security video shows a man seen across the street on the sidewalk pacing around before he spots his victim here at 21st and Walnut Streets in Center City last Thursday, just before 10:45 at night. You can see the man rushing up to her when it appears he punches her in her face and then runs away. The victim falls to the ground. A short time later, a group of people gather to help her and call 911.
I'm still in shock. I still don't understand why it happened.
The woman did not want to reveal her name out of concern for her safety, but she says the attack left her nose and jaw fractured and even cracked some eye bones.
I was knocked unconscious, and when I woke up, I still had all my belongings. So to me, it was clearly not a robbery. It was just an assault for some reason.
People who live and work in the area are shocked to see the video.
It's terrifying. It's something that shouldn't be happening.
It's upsetting to see.
Philadelphia Police Lieutenant Patrick Doherty says detectives need the public's help.
There is some video, and we're looking for better video. I'm pretty confident this job's going to lead to an arrest. We just want to get the best possible picture out there to the public.
The victim says at the time of the attack, she was on her way home after visiting some friends. Now she says she'll never walk alone at night again here in Center City.
Unless this attacker is arrested, I would still feel nervous walking around this area.
And police tell us they do have a person of interest, but anyone with information is urged to contact Central Detectives. Reporting live in Center City, Matt Petrillo, CBS 3 Eyewitness.
Turn Park Bar on a shots fired. Multiple callers. Copy. 3 shots inside the bar. One.
A horrifying scene unfolding inside a packed bar in St. Paul, Minnesota.
Copy. Starting at least 4 medics. I got one fading here.
Police calling it one of the worst shootings the city has seen.
I heard the gunshots and I went to the ground and I could see 4 or 5 people that had been hit.
This is not the place to be right now. This is chaos.
Multiple suspects opening fire in this bar just after midnight. Cell phone video capturing some of the chaos unfolding inside.
There were gunshot wound victims lying in the street outside the bar. There were gunshot wound victims lying on the sidewalk outside the bar. And there were gunshot wound victims lying on the floor inside the bar.
More people over here too, bro. People are laid out.
Good Samaritans jumping in to help officers render aid. A total of 15 people shot. 14 rushed to the hospital. A 20-year-old woman tragically dying inside.
This is nothing short of a tragedy. Our hearts break for the young woman who died and for her loved ones.
A grieving family joined by an entire community. The chief of police taking to Twitter to say, hearts are broken. Victims, families, community, and officers. We will bring justice to the victims. Earlier today, police arresting 3 suspects connected to the shooting as multiple law enforcement agencies work with St. Paul police to answer lingering questions. How did this happen and why?
Megan, do we know anything more about the 20-year-old victim?
Well, Jose, police say they will release her name tomorrow along with the other victims inside the bar. But tonight, this is a community that is grieving and anxiously awaiting answers.
Thanks for watching our YouTube.
Moments officials say Raquel Boisette attempted to commit murder in the first degree. The incident occurred at a Lauderhill Metro by T-Mobile. News that has those who were close by alarmed.
Well, I'm shocked, yes. It's no good for anybody.
According to Lauderhill police, Boisette used to work at the location but was fired. Police documents say she blamed her former manager and accused him of ruining her life. But on Friday, she allegedly took that blame to the next level, returning to her former job and shooting him. In surveillance images, you can see her pointing the gun at the manager, whose name is not being released, and him running for his life. Police say the bullet went through his arm and into his chest. There's even a blood trail from the cash register leading to the bathroom, where he eventually took cover. He's currently in the hospital and his condition is unknown. And while no one else was injured, those who frequent the area say they have major concerns.
We were walking by, anybody got shot. I got a store here. I'm working every day. I eat every day over there with them. Next door. I'm next door. It's my friend. All the time I do service with them.
And that was CBS 4's Bobeth Yates reporting.
Police are searching for the 2 men involved. It happened just after midnight Saturday. These are the 2 men. They were walking on White Plains Road in Wakefield when one of them started firing a handgun at a moving vehicle. A parked car was damaged by bullets. A stray bullet hit the window of a second-floor apartment, but no one was hurt.
Breaking story this morning, a police pursuit ends with shots fired in Midtown.
Investigators say that it all began with a traffic stop early this morning. CBS News' John Diaz joins us now live from Midtown with more on this. John?
Chris and Mary, police telling us that this car was being used in connection to a string of high-end robberies. So when authorities spotted this vehicle, they knew to approach the driver with caution, and then that driver took off. Now, police tell us that this all started about a block away from where I'm standing. It started over on 6th Avenue, but it ended here on 5th Avenue and 28th Street. Citizens, that video shows a police helicopter hovering above this scene, and this video shows a bullet hole in the car at the center of this police investigation. According to the NYPD, around 2:30 this morning, police performed what's called a felony car stop on this black BMW. These stops occur when police have a strong reason to believe it contains a driver or passenger suspected of having committed a serious crime. In this case, police believe the suspects were targeting patrons of high-end restaurants and clubs as they left, looking to rob them of their expensive items at gunpoint. Police say the suspects were possibly eyeing an establishment in the area when officers on patrol spotted them. When they tried to stop them, though, the driver of the BMW, we are told, then drove off, getting only 1 block away. Police say at some point officers shot at the car a few times but did not hit anyone, and the suspects never fired back. Now, the driver ditched his car on the sidewalk and both suspects jumped out. Police were able to take one suspect into custody while a second person ran away and is still on the loose. Now, police, they do tell us that they were able to recover one firearm here from the scene inside that vehicle, and a live look back out here at the scene. As you can see, still heavy police presence out here on scene, and a force investigation division. They are out here still investigating. We are told, conducting an internal investigation because one of those officers fired off their gun. So of course they have to do that internal investigation, and we are told that no one was injured. We're live this morning from Midtown Manhattan. John.
Inside a home in Queens, CBS 2's Corey James is live for us in Rosedale, Queens, right now with the very latest. Corey?
And Jessica, police say that teenager is actually 14 years old. Authorities say he was actually shot in the back while inside of this home on 243rd Street right here in Rosedale, Queens. It happened just before 9 this evening. Now, we don't know the circumstances surrounding the shooting that injured the teen yet, but officers say he was taken to Long Island Jewish Medical Center and is expected to recover. At this time, it is unclear if anyone was inside the home at the time of the shooting. And we do know one suspect, according to police, took off on foot. Of course, as we learn more details, we'll bring the very latest to you. For now, we're live here in Rosedale, Queens. Corey James, CBS 2 News.
All right, Corey.
Turning Bronx, exclusive video shows a man snatch a 3-year-old who was walking with family members, and then the person runs off. Police tell us Good Samaritans chased the suspect, who eventually did let the child go. This is at about 1:15 this afternoon on Baisley and East Tremont Avenues in Throgs Neck. Police tonight are searching for that subject.
But first, we begin with some breaking news in Brooklyn, where a woman has been shot.
Police are searching for the gunman right now. CBS 2's Corey James live on the scene in East New York with the breaking details. Corey.
And Marisa Christine, that woman, an innocent victim, now fighting for her life. Police say she was standing near this corner where you can see it appears about a dozen bullets went flying this evening. Take a look at this video. Investigators say the shooting happened just before 9 o'clock, and according to the NYPD, 3 teens got into an argument at Belmont and Georgia Avenues. At some point, shots were fired, and at least one of those bullets hitting a 30-year-old woman in the head. Now, she was taken to Brookdale Hospital and is listed in critical condition at last check. Police, though, as you can see, are still out here investigating. They're also looking for those 3 suspects. So far, a description of them has not been released. We're live in East New York, Brooklyn. Corey James, CBS 2 News.
Okay, Corey.
Now, cops are looking for her attackers. Police say this happened a little after 3 in the morning last Wednesday on Powell Street. Police say a man and woman came up to the 30-year-old victim, knocked her into a curbside planter, and punched and kicked the woman, leaving her unconscious. Cops say the attackers took her purse, 2 cell phones, cash, and a chain. If you have any information, please call Crime Stoppers.
A San Bernardino woman was stabbed to death, allegedly by her ex-boyfriend. That's according to her family. Now he's on the run. 26-year-old Briseida Guillen had a restraining order out against 29-year-old Giovanni Arianes. Last Saturday, Guillen's family members say she was killed in her apartment. They believe it was Arianes because he's out on parole. There's now a $1 million warrant out for this man's arrest.
Evolve your business with 2% cash back.
The shooting in Harlem happened around 2:30 this morning on East 121st Street, 3rd Avenue. Police responded to a 911 call for a man shot. They found a 33-year-old victim with a gunshot wound to the chest. He was pronounced dead at a local hospital. There are no arrests, and the victim's ID is being withheld until family members are notified.
Police in New York are looking for this man. They say sexually assaulted a woman in Brooklyn at knife point. Police say it happened around 4:30 Monday morning at Malcolm X Boulevard and Kosciuszko Street. According to police, the 26-year-old woman was arriving at the building when a man approached her from behind and said, quote, "Let me in the building." Police say she refused, and then the man pulled the box cutter knife, forced her into her apartment, and sexually assaulted her. Police also say he stole her iPhone and $200 worth of jewelry before taking off. Anyone with any information is asked to call Crime Stoppers at 1-800-577-TIPS. Katie Johnston for
the person who shot and killed a taxi driver early this morning.
Tonight, the victim is being remembered as a hard-working and kind man. CBS 2's Tony Aiello reports.
Born 62 years ago in Mexico, Andres Valenzuela died Thursday morning in New Rochelle, shot twice while parking this taxi after completing a 6-hour shift. Police say a cop on patrol spotted the fatally injured man lying in the lot at Giuliano's catering hall.
And found he had two what appeared to be gunshot wounds that were obvious. He immediately started rendering aid, calling for help. They used an automatic external defibrillator.
Valenzuela was pronounced dead at Montefiore New Rochelle Hospital. He'd driven 10 years for Express City Taxi, sometimes working 7 days a week.
All drivers are feeling bad, shocking. It's surprise. It's never, New Rochelle usually is a quiet city.
Valenzuela lived alone in a modest apartment down the street from the taxi office.
He's a really good guy. I would just see him. We used to work in the night shift, and he was just a good guy. He always used to just say hi to everybody, and he was just a good guy in general.
Police say robbery is one possible motive.
We're working out all possibilities on the motive.
Cops are checking surveillance video and asking the public for help. New Rochelle police say there's no need for taxi drivers to be extra cautious because they should always be cautious. It's a notoriously hazardous occupation in cities large and small. In New Rochelle, Tony Aiello, CBS 2 News.
This was the second homicide of 2021 in New Rochelle.
But a child, it's beyond inexcusable.
A little girl's bravery, help from the public, and strong collaboration between Farmington Hills and Detroit police departments led to the arrest and jailing of an accused rapist. 40-year-old Aaron McDonald faced a judge Friday, the ex-con charged with kidnapping and raping a 9-year-old girl. One of his neighbors jarred upon learning of the allegations.
I'm so shocked, I'm so scared. I have kids here, that's why I'm so scared.
Police say McDonald lured the girl into his Jeep as she walked near 8 Mile and Grand River in Farmington Hills Sunday afternoon. He ultimately drove her to this home near 8 Mile and Berg in Detroit, where police say he strangled and raped her. At some point, the girl was able to get away, running from the home clad with only a blanket, a neighbor coming to her rescue and calling 911.
Despite what she endured, she stayed calm. She escaped, and she saved her own life. And she probably saved the lives of other children.
Neighbors say the house where the assault allegedly occurred belongs to McDonald's mother, who was out of town but left her son with access to it.
I worry, and I don't like casting aspersions, my God, if you know this particular individual had that type of propensity, after just being released from this type of thing, why would you give him the opportunity?
McDonald was released from prison in May after serving 16 years of a max 30-year sentence for 2 counts of first-degree criminal sexual conduct. We reached out to McDonald's mother, who declined to comment. Farmington Hills and Detroit police worked together to crack the case, along with help from other departments and the FBI. Investigators executed 20 search warrants at a number of locations, including McDonald's home in Oak Park, his Jeep, and the home where the alleged assault took place. DPD provided around-the-clock surveillance of McDonald after investigators identified him.
It was important for us to keep eyes on him 24/7 so that he would not re-victimize.
Police arrested McDonald Thursday.
I cannot say with enough emphasis that it would not